this is part 2. So if this play out right, let me play this so I can just do this so the people can see that. Disclaimer: under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is copyright disclaimer. Under section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Viewer discretion is advised. All praises to the Most High. Yes, of course, brethren, let us keep on moving. If this is the premiere, you don't have to click away. You're already in part 2. Now, this part going to focus mainly on the ley lines, the accident, the airplanes, the train stuff, the helicopters, okay? Let us keep on moving and watch this, okay? And then we're going to explain to the people this is not because of reckless driving, okay? This is not because of pandemic stress. It is because of the ley line, the micro lines, the holy lines, okay? They are active now. The Most High take control of it. We control it. All praises to the Most High. Let's go in.
It's a troubling side effect of the pandemic. Crazy, dangerous driving. Fatalities from car wrecks are skyrocketing, up 7% in 2020 and 18% in just the first 6 months of this year.
That's not that. Listen, this thing, again, we keep telling people, we warn you. We warn the world. They didn't listen. Now they are suffering. We warned you 2 years ago. We warned you in the late of 2019. And 2020, we make multiple videos even before the whole pandemic thing was kicking. We keep telling you these things are happening and it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep increasing because the ley line is very active. That has nothing to do with Jabba Jah, okay? For those of you that keep asking, who is Jabba Jah? Let me show you. Yeah, it was Jabba Jah. That's not, oh, well, because they being friends with Jabba Jah. No, that's not what that is, man. You know, that's not what that is. Jabba Jah. There you go.
Hi there, I'm Jabba Jah. They call him Jab, 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 Jabba Jah. Most futuristic shot you ever saw. I can walk and talk and look. He's so sharp, the things he does are unbelievable. Jab, 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 Jabba Jah.
Okay, so you got the point. Jabba Jah is like a whale shark. Is like a shark. I mean, would you like to be friends with him? Again, it's a wordplay on the job, okay? So Jabba Jah, because YouTube, they're going to come after you. And they're going to come after me for that too, because, you know, hey, you are copying this. What? That's how we refer to Jabba Jah. Now, they are not, Big Levi. The Gentiles say because they are friends with Jabba Jah, and then they cannot work and stuff like. No, that's not what happened. It's because of the ley line, okay? And 20, listen to this. In 2020,
up 7% in 2020.
So in 2020, when we start noticing this thing was like up to 7%, we warn them. We say, wait a minute, it's only going to get worse. And they didn't listen, okay?
And 18% in just the first 6 months of this year.
Okay, and then in the first 6 months, because you have to wait 6 months after, okay, for the record to come back. So in July, and I mean, well, probably in July or June 2022, we'll know what it is in 2021. So if it's already 18%, which is a 11% increase from 2021, right now it's at least 40%. It's at least 40%, at least 40, 45, 50% increase. And they are seeing that, brothers, okay? They're trying to explain it, okay, well, it's a result of pandemic, of pandemic stress, and get out of here.
The highest in 14 years.
Look at this,
it's an
man.
alarming trend. At the start of the pandemic, during the lockdown, there was an epidemic of speeding on empty, wide-open highways free from rush hour traffic.
That's not what that is. That's not what that is. Look, man, stop it.
Now the roads are packed again, but we're still seeing more reckless driving than ever before. So what's going on?
The ley lines.
Experts say the bad behavior is a direct reflection of the mental state of the nation.
That's not what that is, man. You people are lying. Look, listen, man. You guys are telling the people lies and you're taking glory from the Most High. They have to understand now on, if they want to get in the car, they want to go, they have to pray the Most High and ask him to give them access and protect them to the ley line, aka the micro line, the holy lines, the power that run through the earth. It's being switched in our favor. That is why you saw people, they cannot behave in airplanes. Okay, that is why you see people are killing each other and craziness, because the ley line control the energy, the grids, the magnetic field, the spiritual magnetic, the electro-spiritual magnetic field of the earth, aka the ley line switch. Okay, it's no longer in your favor. That is why you are moving to the hood, because the hood now have the positive ley line, and that's why Bucket have the negative ley line. The so-called the suburb, the rich area, the affluent area or affluent area have all the crimes now. That is why you see in Beverly Hills. That's why you see in that actress or whatever, the wife of this musician, writer, or composer got killed. There's like a wave of crime going on in wealthy neighborhood. Look at Buckheads. Now the energy switched to your area. The negative part of the ley line switched to yours. The positive part is on us. Don't listen to those experts. They don't know anything. Those guys are lying. That has nothing to do with post-pandemic stress. That has nothing to do with America is the most stressful country in the world. Ever since you Gentiles take over the world, you take over our land. Ever since the Job said the world is given unto the wicked, it's become the most stressful thing. Don't be telling me, oh, because of pandemic stress and stuff. Nah, it's 1491, 1619, 2019. After 2019, everything is done. The blessing is over. The 400 is complete. Then you see all those craziness are happening. It's not about pandemic stress and stuff like that or reckless driving. Get out of here.
The pandemic has left us isolated, lonely, and depressed.
That's not
and it's affecting how we drive.
America, especially the so-called blacks, the children that you enslaved, were always isolated, depressed. What else do you say here? Let me see. Okay.
The pandemic has left us isolated, lonely, and depressed.
No, that's a lie. We were always isolated, depressed, and lonely. The pandemic make it better. It's the ley line causing this. It's the energy flowing through the earth causing all of that.
And it's affecting how we drive. The phenomenon even has a name. It's called arousal breakout.
Wow. Wow. You see, this is what those people are doing. They are not giving the Most High the glory and the praise. They are not saying, wait a minute. Well, see, and of course, something is wrong here. What could we do? What could we do to fix this? Is there somebody that has something better? Because those experts been telling us garbage and all that stuff. And brethren, what's happening here? They are fatal. A lot of them are, well, if not all of them here are fatal. They are fatal crash. Those people are not coming back. And some of you people are saying, wait a minute, is anybody know why this day we're ready to take everything? And we know you're watching the videos, of course. And then when we say the ley line is doing this, but well, how do you stop it? Well, you can't. You cannot. You won't be able to stop it. You were supposed to stop that pre-2019. It is done. You cannot stop it anymore. It will get worse. You will see more car crash, violent, fatal, deadly car crash. More airplanes going to fall off the sky. Don't be surprised a commercial airplane with loaded with people fell off the sky, and then everyone is no more. Don't be surprised when you see a cruise ship, okay, going in the midst of the ocean and never come back, or something happened. They hit, I don't know, they hit something. Don't be surprised, brothers, okay, if you see those things, because they will happen. Don't be surprised you keep seeing train collision, massive train collision, car accident. Billionaires are dying in car accident. Millionaires are dying in plane accident and train accident and all that. it's going to keep happening. Is that thing even recording right now? Yes, it is.
And some people may have kind of as a coping mechanism turned to kind of letting out some of their frustration on the road or using substances or a combination of the two.
Drunk driving fatalities are up nearly 10% since the start of the pandemic. This drunk driver in Detroit caused a crash that sent 4 people to the hospital. And in New York, the woman driving this car was drunk when she plowed across a front yard and smashed into a house.
People are not wearing their seat.
Okay, car keep crashing to the house, or people not hearing. That's not what that is, man. It's the ley line.
Seatbelt. They're driving impaired. And they're also speeding. We lose over 100 people on average each and every day in this country as a result of car crashes.
So if you lose on average, brothers, 100 people a day. So you let me try to rephrase this for you conspiracy theorists out there. They are losing 100 people, 100 millionaires a day, 100 billionaires a day because they don't have job. They don't have a life. You don't know them. Those are people with jobs, with lives, people that you know. That's what causing this. Stop lying to the people, man. Tell them the truth so they would know that the Most High judgment is in the land. Okay? Michael is in the midst. Okay? Let them know, because if you keep lying to them, it's going to get worse. Okay? We had this video. Okay? We bought this video like a month ago, even before those people are now seeing this. Okay? Okay, they don't show you the part that the guy, after this car, you know, flip and then it fell another car and the car drive and then it's right on top of the car. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving, brethren, okay? Now, this is in Mexico. Horrific truck accident kills 54. They don't tell you who they are, okay? They should have said 54 somebody, but let's watch this. Okay, graphic contents. Look at the people. Okay? Look at the people mingled. Okay? Look at this. All right? This dude's fine. This guy finally hold the cell phone straight, man. That's good. Okay? He says somewhere around 40 people or something. Okay? Look at the children. The people are mingled. All right? This has nothing to do with, oh, the driver was drunk and stuff. It's the freaking ley line, and I'll tell you more.
Fortunately, the reaction from all institutions, Red Cross, firefighters, civil protection, was really fast. We hope that the people taken to the Gomez Mata Hospital, to San Cristobal, and to other hospitals will be able to recover.
Those are the dead bodies,
Some of them told
okay?
us they were from Honduras.
Good job
ages.
holding your phone like this.
Sadly, we already have some deaths. Right now, we are working to count and remove the corpses.
Okay. Those are the dead bodies, okay? This is a very big deal, brothers. This is a very big deal. People really don't know what's happening here, and then they are wondering why this is happening there. And then let me go ahead and let us go ahead through the spirit and see what's going on here. First of all, 54 people. At least 54 people have died after 200 migrants crammed into a lorry before it overturned and smashed into a bridge. Again, we know the bridges are ley lines, okay? Anytime you're passing to the bridge, the rivers, they're ley line. Now, 200 migrants. Now, what did you Mexican did to deserve that? What did you do? What did you do? What did you guys did in the past, so somewhere around July? What did you migrant do to another group of migrants that did not look like you? What did you do to those people? What did the so-called Mexican authority did to a group of people that were crossing under, we know it was spiritual, that was crossing under a bridge to Texas, from Mexico to Texas? At least 54 of you or no more. We know 5 plus 4 equal 9 in destruction. For those of you who remember, the Haitians came in somewhere in July, I'm not quite sure, and then the whole world, they got dismayed, and a lot of our people were pissed off over here in the AK. we were still, because we know what you guys were doing. And we know the Heavenly Father will speak for his people. This is the Most High retribution for what you did to the Haitians over there. Yea, indeed, when the Haitians are over there, you listen to your master, you got on your horses, on top of your horses, and chasing our people, throwing rope around their neck, and then capture them like you were capturing slave, yet they are alive. Yea, indeed, they are alive. Now look at you. Now look at you. It doesn't feel too good, yeah? It doesn't feel too good to see those white bags over there. You see, all the so-called Haitians that was over there, some of them made it, some of them returned back home. None of them dies. But 54 of you are no more here. That's what happened. The Heavenly Father switched the ley line. Now, one of the brothers sent me an email, and I wanted to close with it about this fellow, Paul Begley. Okay, so breaking Mexico bushcraft kills 54. So let's see what Paul Begley have to say about this, since now they are so interested in car crash now.
Has provided people all over the world with an understanding of some of the things that are happening. And I can tell you right now, it's frustrating to me when I look at all of the events going on around the world. There are some things that are happening right now that are just mind-boggling, really, to be quite honest. Just totally mind-boggling.
I agree.
But what are you going to do? You know, there's only so much you can do, to be honest. And so we're going to continue to watch this as things play out. But let's start with www.keto with Paul. That's www.keto with Paul. Guys, seriously, BioTrust did a tremendous good job. They really did.
All right, let's keep a little bit forward. I haven't watched this thing.
What's going on? And I know that this package is supposed to be green. Oh, man. That is not what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Is that right?
Okay, so sorry, guys. When the report came in, they say 53. Now it's 54. You know, either way work for us. What we watch here,
53 people dead.
Okay, wow, that's...
and 54 injured after a bus carrying migrants crashed in South Mexico. What a horrific scene that took place there, as you can see. But also, rescue workers rushing to a highway accident found this horrific scene. Our prayers are going with the families here. 53
Not ours. Not ours over there. This is judgment. This is what you did to the Haitians over there. This is a straight up response from the Most High. 5 + 4 = 9. Destruction upon you. There is no prayer for you wicked people, man. A tragedy, yes, but glory goes unto the Most High. Yea, indeed, he switched the ley line. That has nothing to do. You people over there been trafficking 2, 3, 4, 5, 600 people in a car. You trafficking them down. But lately, what you're seeing, a lot of them are dying. All praises to the Most High, because the blessing is done. You are not going to come over here and oppress and suppress our people and drain onto the enemy and destroy us anymore.
Dead, 54 injured in Mexico. This horrific scene of death and injury after a freight truck jammed with as many as 200 migrants tipped over and crashed into the base of a steel pedestrian bridge in southern Mexico. The migrants inside the cargo trailer were flipped, tossed, and crushed into a pile that mingled literally the living and the dead. By late Thursday this afternoon, or actually last night, the death toll was at 53, and the authorities said at least 54 were injured. Yeah, it was one of the worst single-day death tolls for migrants in Mexico since that 2010 massacre of 72 migrants, by becoming a very serious thing. There's no question about it.
Okay.
53 dead, 54 injured. This policy hasn't been able to stop the flood of migrants.
There you go. Politics.
Stuffed hundreds at a time into freight trucks
or
containers. everything you can think of, operated by smugglers who charge thousands of dollars
Politics.
to take them to the U.S. border.
Politics.
Trips that all too often lead them only to their deaths. A 14-year-old girl was struck by a school bus
Ley lines.
as well. And so, most of the severely injured, many streaming in blood, were carried by their arms and legs to plastic sheets set in.
Okay, we will skip all the goals right there. Is he still reading?
Become a situation.
Okay, he's still reading. You know, still reading the thing. Still reading.
They're good in there. I hope not. I really hope not. I'll be right back.
Still reading. Still reading. Still reading. Because he has nothing to say. Listen to a little song and it has nothing to say.
Correctly. So that's why you just see a black screen instead of this was supposed to be on there.
Okay. The coming apocalypse.
But necessary job.
He just read it to you. He just read it. They don't give you any explanation because they don't have any explanation. And one brother said this dude had a dream, and we are looking for the video where he has that dream. And they said that it was up. They probably took it down. He said last Thursday at 33 minutes. Is it this one? It could be this one. Let's check this one. At 33, the brother said at 33 minutes and 40 something. Yeah, let's put out 33. Was having a dream. Let's put it at 33:09.
Guys, let me tell this dream a little bit, okay?
There
That
you
happened to me last night. So,
oh boy, we're getting to the good
sleeping
stuff. We're getting to the good stuff. Thank you, brethren, for sending this to us. The brother was keep an eye on those people, brothers. Keep an eye on them. Don't repeat what they are saying, but keep an eye on them. When they're having dreams, when they're swagger jacking, let our people know. Give us the exact place when it happened, because of course I'm not gonna go into 33 minutes listen to this thing. Give us go over there, watch what those guys are doing, send it on to us, and then we'll analyze it. Let's listen to this dream right here. I didn't have planned to do this. All praises to the Most High. Yeah, let's listen to the dream that fellow has. Let's see.
Last night, there was this town. It looked like it was down in a valley, and there was, you know, it looked like a couple thousand people maybe. It was a small town, and there was a mountain there, and I'm not going to say a mountain like Colorado or the Rockies or something.
The presence of
but
the Lord.
Instead, it was like a hill that you would see in eastern Kentucky, you know, like a hill.
The kingdom.
And
the feet of the
on the top of this hill, on the top of this little mountain, was a very high tower that went way high into the air.
Okay, the ley line.
And the people started gathering around and saying, "It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time to throw the old lady out. It's time to kill the old woman. It's time to throw the old woman, to bring her down," was the words they kept using. It's time to bring the old woman down. What was in the tower at the very top was an old woman sitting in a rocking chair in this dream. And she had that scarf thing, you know, you wear, and I sometimes see people like in Romania wear it. I've seen the Israeli.
Babushka. Let's see. He's talking about the babushka. Is that what that is? Babushka.
Here's the definition of babushka. In Poland and Russia, an old woman or grandmother.
Okay, a babushka lady, an old woman, you know, tying their head like this. So this is a typical, is that Nick Cannon? Some scumbag. But anyway, so babushka, this is like a typical old Russian, old Eastern European woman wearing a babushka. So that, I mean, it's like it's just a name. That's not what that is. That's what they do. They just wear it like this, and they call them babushka. So, oh boy, where I was. There you go. So that's what that is.
The Israeli women wear that. Maybe it's something that they wore in Poland
and Israel. Yeah. Israeli women. Thank you for giving us this clue. Okay, go ahead. Israeli women, go ahead.
Romania and that area of the world, and I don't know if it has to be Jewish people or not, but I've seen that kind of style. So I decided to climb to the top of this tower to warn the woman and to help her. Now, the only way up to the top of the tower was on the outside was a ladder. You would have to climb it. There was no elevator. You have to climb this thing from the outside all the way to the top. And I mean, it is high. But I finally make it to the top, and I go through the window, and I come and I land in the middle of this, in this huge room around that's sitting at the top. And she's sitting there in the rocking chair. And I said to her, they're wanting to bring you down. They're chanting, they're going to bring you down. They say it is time, it is time. And they're coming. And she said, there's nothing we can do. And I said, no, there is. They're coming. She goes, you can't, I will help you. And she said, well, what can you do? You're one man, and they're all down there. We're overwhelmed. I said, listen, they only, if you'll pray, if you'll sit there and intercede, if you'll sit there and pray, that's all I need you to do is pray. I will defend you. Because the only way they can get up here is one at a time. It doesn't matter how many they have. They're going to get up here one at a time. And I will fight them one at a time. Now, I told Heidi about the dream this morning. I told Israel about the dream this morning as we were headed to the airport to get on the plane to come back down here to Florida. Israel had some good interpretations on his thoughts on it.
Okay, let's watch up.
Maybe the old woman represents the woman in the Bible in Revelation 12, which really represents the nation of Israel. And that those down at the bottom of the hill surrounding the tower,
what a joke.
Maybe that was the different nations of the world that had finally decided to come against Israel.
That's a joke. They have it in reverse. That's a joke. They have it in reverse. Israel is not on top, man. We are not on top of the mountain. We are not. You have it in reverse. The people down that are screaming, "Oh Yasharala," all our people. The people that is on top. Okay, somebody's knocking on. I don't know who that is, but anyway, I'll let the wife take care of that. Anyway, let's listen to this guy.
And that I was maybe representing the Americans, the last nation left that was going to continue to still defend her. And that the only weapon of warfare that I knew was prayer.
Oh my, this is too good, man. All praises to the Most High. This is too good, man. This is, what a joke.
I'll stand here and take them on one at a time, but you know what? We better have some prayer. The bottom line to win this is the prayer of God's people. And so it's really interesting that dream took place. I'm very, very focused on it. It was very odd. It's very vivid. And when I get a dream that's so detailed, in color, that vivid, and there's references to prayer or call on the Lord.
All right, we're going to stop this dude right here. Woo! Now listen to what the Lord has to say about your dream. This dream has nothing to do with you personally. When you go to this town, the town is a representation of the earth, the entire earth. Now in this town, there is a mountain. Anytime you see mountain in any place that represent power, that's why they say the Most High, he dwell in mountain. He loves mountain, Mount Zion. So the mountain is representation of the blessing, the power, the strength. Now that old woman is what you're calling Babylon. That has nothing to do with Yasharala. That's Babylon, the whole whore. She's not a young woman anymore. She spent all her youth doing whoredom, whoring herself out there. And now she's in this chair, rocking in that tower. Now this old whore is Psalm 83. Now, when you see the people chanting in the town, say that it is time to take her down. It is time. Those are our people. Those are Yasharala. Those are AK warriors. Those are the Kemps. Those are the people out there that are saying we must take this H down. Yay. Now, when you hear that, you yourself, Paul Begley, you are a representation of the Gentiles' anxiety. You are a representation of the Gentiles, the one that don't know anything out there, the one that have been left in the dust. You quickly run to this quote-unquote mountain. You go to see this old lady, this old whore, Babylon herself, that great whore. You climb what you thought it is a ladder. And you go inside what you thought, you think it's a window. It's actually a portal. You were taken to, not Jacob's ladder, because you cannot go in there and stuff like that. And then you go in there and then you warn this lady. You weren't warning Yasharala or Hesh over there. You are warning Babylon. You say, listen, they are coming for you. They are coming. And then what did Babylon, the whole whore, tell you? Straight up. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. What you gonna do? You are one man. She accept her fate, and she says she's gonna rock this chair until the chair break and she fell, and then they get rid of her. And then you cannot grasp this. You say, I will fight for you. You tell that whole whore, the Psalm 83 Gentile brethren, Babylon is not the representation of America. It's Psalm 83. All of them. All the nation that come upon the loin of the Heavenly Father's children. Now you, Paul Begley, you are the representation of the rest of the Gentiles. And then you said, well, everything is crashing. I love living in the town and look at this beautiful mountain and know my people in there. I will protect you because only one of them can get through the ladder. You know what that is? You know what that means? That means only one person can get through the ladder, so-called Jacob's ladder, trees of life. And there's another word, if we say it here, that will cause all sort of confusion, but because it is not for you, the Messiah has not anointed you to go on to it yet. That's what that is. When you went to this window, that's not a window, it's a portal. You went into this, you fell into this room, and you see this old woman rocking in a chair. You know what a rocking chair is? You know what that is when you're sitting on the rocking chair? What's that symbolize? This symbolizes anxiety, boredom, and a bunch of things that you're worried about. It symbolizes you being stuck. You're walking, you ain't going nowhere. You're still in the same spot. That's what that is. No matter what you do, you keep trying to move forward. You move backward. You move forward. You move backward. You're still in the same spot. You're not going to go anywhere. You're not on a little scooter. You're on a spiritual rocking chair. And the Messiah is rocking that old hall. And then when you say, well, we can defeat them with power, with prayer and all that, you can't. You try though. That's why you're asking the people, prayer, prayer, prayer. You can't. That's the interpretation of your dream, sir. Thus say the Most High God, by the mouth of his children, by the mouth of his prophet. All praises to the Most High. Yea, this old whore, this whole Babylon hag going to be taken down. All praises to the Most High. Thank you, sir, for bringing this unto the nation. Thank you for the beloved brother, or the sister. The beloved, no, I don't mess with conspiracy theories because that's what those guys do. They read things to you and then they say, I think that's not what that is. Okay, with the bunch of scumbag stuff. But now, this guy read this thing unto you, and then they are not telling the people why this great calamity came upon Mexico. It is because of what you did to the so-called Haitian the other day. You think the Messiah forget you? Zaza! Let us keep on moving, brothers and sisters. And we know, again, let's see. I believe I was reading. Yeah, Psalm 25, verse 5, brother. Lead me in thy truth. Lead me in thy truth. Not in the truth. Not in my truth. Not in his truth. In thy truth. And teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving, beloved. Okay? Okay. All praises. All right.
Meanwhile, on the island of Molokai, Maui police say it was a boulder that hit the school bus that forced it off the road. This happened yesterday afternoon. It was at about 3:30 at Rock Point on the east side of the island. The bus, as you can see, fell down nose first into a rocky shoreline. Only the driver was on board, and he was not injured.
All praises. Oh, crap, I forgot to. All praises to the Most High. Okay, a bus got run over by a giant boulder in the street. All praises, ley line. Let's get this going. Oh, here we go.
Crashed into a freight train, and as you can see there, the trolley is underneath the.
All right, listen to
People
this.
are hurt after a SEPTA trolley crashed into a freight train, and as you can see there, the trolley is underneath the railroad crossing arm. And Jeff, now the NTSB is on the scene.
They are on the scene here. This is actually Main Street in Darby. We're just a couple of yards here now from where the crossing is. This shows you just how busy Main Street is here. 8:30 this morning, this is the Route 11 trolley heading into Philadelphia, and it hits or is hit by the CSX train coming the other way. Let's take a look.
Now, why is that? Why is this happening? Why you keep seeing all those train, okay, or slamming into each other, and then a lot of car accidents, a lot of airplane accident, because the ley line is being active. 400 years is over. 1619, 2019, 400 years. That's why after 2019, you enter 2020, you know now you're in trouble. The reason this is happening is because the Heavenly Father said, after we serve our year, our trouble, he will judge you. And he said unto Abraham, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also, the nation whom they shall serve will I judge. This is a judgment. The ley line switch, the so-called train track, they run through the ley line. The roads, the highway, they run through the ley lines. The rivers, the bridge, ley lines. The airplanes, the ley lines, the boats, all of them. That's what you're seeing here.
8:30 a.m. and the Route 11 SEPTA trolley in Darby is on its way to Philadelphia with 20 passengers on board.
Okay, well, 97 is 17. You know, 1 plus 16, 1 plus 6, 17. I don't know.
On the
like
freight rail line crossing its path is a CSX train.
I heard a loud crash, like a loud glass, you know what I mean? Like a little glass sprinkling like that.
Gary King watched them collide.
Gary King. All right, thank you, brother Gary King.
What I seen was the trolley was coming up. The train didn't stop. Like the trolley tried to stop, but that train didn't stop.
A SEPTA spokesperson says the trolley was struck on the passenger side front door, smashing the front window and lights, sending 5 passengers and the trolley operator to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
I saw the train and the trolley bounce back together because I hear the sound boom.
Tone Wanty quickly looked toward the tracks at the sharp sound of the crash and thought of the passengers.
I hope nobody died. Yeah, I was praying. I said, I hope nothing happened to anybody. I was kissing, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Okay.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I was just praying for them.
Okay, so always, you know, there will always have somebody in there praying for everybody. You know, hey, you already know you got you. Hey, not all skin for. But anyway, as long as she say, my God, we take this for the Most High. Okay, it was the Most High who saved those people. She didn't say Jesus. We know what she meant though. But we over there, we take this glory from you. We give it to the Most High. All praises.
This said any detailed comments would likely come after a team from the National Transportation Safety Board had a good look. The first investigator arrived before 3. As the afternoon wore on, freight trains rolled through the crossing while the trolley remained in the middle of Darby's main street with the road blocked by police tape. Before the crash, the trolley appears to have breached the zone where the CSX train would pass, as evidenced by the crossing's safety rail on its roof. Trolley rider Latanya Williams has heard the ringing of the warning bell countless times as trains pass. She wonders how the trolley and the train could meet.
All praises to, okay, they have only black folks in there.
You're surprised?
I'm surprised that the trolley hit the train.
Of course, Latanya Williams, you know, with Williams. They keep having black folks in there. They find all the black people they can find and say, hey, say this is your fault. You know, hey, black folks did.
I don't understand how that happened.
Because it's the ley line sister, okay? The sister don't know this. That's what that is. It's not like the trolley see them or they see each other. None of them saw until it happened.
Because you get a signal. You get a warning.
Okay, we give the Most High praises and glory, brothers. Okay, let others keep on going.
Man now in custody accused of assaulting a flight attendant and air marshal on board a flight heading to LAX. Eyewitness News reporter Jaysha Patel is live at the airport with new video you will only see here on Eyewitness News. Jaysha.
Hi, Patel.
Hey, good morning. Well, that video from passengers on board shows a man yelling at crew members and eventually being restrained.
You gotta lock me up. Just please help! Help! Please help!
The flight was from Washington, D.C. heading to Los Angeles, but had to land in Oklahoma City so the man could be taken into custody. And police say he assaulted a flight attendant, and at some point an air marshal tried to intervene and was also assaulted. Now, it's not clear what led up to the alleged assault, but video shows the man not wearing a face mask, and the plane finally landed here in L.A. just after 10:30 last night.
Beloved, listen. This is not a coincidence. This is not, wait a minute. This fellow, her name is Julicia Baptiste. Well, all praises to the Most High. Shout out to the beloved sister Baptiste, Maria Baptiste in the chat room. Let the nation know. I don't know if that has anything to do with the sister, but Julia Baptiste? Okay, then. Anyway. You know, Baptist, the baptism, to be baptized, that's what that is. And John the Baptist. Anyway. So, what you're seeing, brothers, the ley line, they are keeping the people in the air. They are get crazy. You've been seeing this even in 2020, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. We report that. We warn the world. They never listen.
We spoke with passengers about what happened on board.
He was pretty much like yelling at people.
Another black people. Oh, hey, that's her. All right then, Julicia Baptiste. Okay, all right then. Oh boy, I would have not called her. But anyway, wait a minute. Is she a Levite?
Trying to tell him what to do, or people thought they had power over him, or they had power over, certain people on the plane, and he was just like, no, like I'm in control.
When they finally put the, not the cuffs, but the zips, he was very vocal about it, and he was screaming.
It was scary. It's scary to experience something like that, especially being however many thousand feet in the air, and not knowing what to do, not knowing what the next move of the person could possibly be.
That's true. All praises to the Most High. Let's see what they are saying at the end.
Delta released a statement applauding crew members and air marshals, and a passenger on board says everyone was handed personalized thank you notes and got an email offering bonus miles.
Hello, I'm all praises. The ley line are making those people crazy.
3 students were taken to the hospital after a school bus crashed this morning in Spartanburg County. Here's what we know about this developing story. 3 students had to go to the hospital because of the crash. You're looking at it right here. Now, Highway Patrol says it happened near Mabry Middle School in Inman. They say the bus drove into a ditch while turning into the school. The district tells us 3 students were taken to the hospital. They did have some minor injuries. Troopers say the bus driver was ticketed for making an improper left turn.
All praises to the Most High. Those people think they can just explain this thing away. They can't. We keep telling you it's the ley line, man. The ley line are causing all sort of things going out there. The airplane, the car crash, and things like that. All praises. Let us keep on moving. By that time, I think we are like 6 minutes for the first video to stuff. But that's in the past, though.
Now that deadly plane crash in Bullitt County, the National Transportation Safety Board on the ground in Statesboro today, collecting and examining evidence, trying to get some answers.
Our Brooke Butler talked to those investigators today to see what they know so far.
And now to an exclusive story.
The NTSB says the plane took off from the Statesboro Bullitt County Airport at around 9:21 last night, and just 3 minutes later, it crashed in the field behind me here. And you can see investigators now have this entire area taped off while they work to determine what caused this plane to go down.
I want to stress that we are in the preliminary fact-finding stage of the investigation.
The cause of Tuesday night's deadly plane crash in Statesboro still remains much of a mystery.
The purpose of this investigation is not only to figure out what happened, but why the accident happened, so that we can issue safety recommendations to prevent future accidents.
The Bullitt County Coroner's Office has identified the pilot who died in the crash as Catherine Close. According to this website for the jumping place, a skydiving company in Statesboro, Close was the company's owner. And on the wreckage, we could see jumping place on the plane's side. The NTSB says this plane was a Cessna 182. And you may remember...
Cessna 182, is that what that is? Let me see. Cessna 182 airplane. Cessna?
According to Wikipedia, the Cessna 182...
Okay, Cessna 182. Okay, all right, we got this here.
Back in 2018, the jumping place was involved in another plane crash. 4 people lost their lives, and that plane was also a Cessna 182. Right now, investigators say it's not clear if this crash was due to weather, a mechanical issue, or pilot error.
Right now, we simply don't know that information, but that is the reason why we're here, while we document the wreckage before it's moved. And so looking at the engine, looking at the flight control surfaces, even though the airplane sustained significant damage, it's something where we are going to go piece by piece and look for any signs of mechanical malfunctions like we do in every investigation.
Now, the NTSB says this wreckage is going to remain here for another day or two while they work to collect what they call perishable evidence. From there,
again, a lot of people are perishing, brothers. Okay, there was, I don't know, victim identifiers as owner of the jumping. What? Wait a minute. I didn't see this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Authorities said, let me see. Mrs. Chloe was also my teacher. She was an amazing, rest in peace. Mrs. Chloe was my teacher in Florida. Please keep this page. Okay, that a woman. Okay, let me see. One person is dead after a single engine plane crashes Tuesday night, just miles from the and victim identified as the owner of the jumping place skydiving business. So the owner of this place died in his own. What the hell is going on out there, man? And now people are gonna say like, okay, well, this guy, well, this dude, he took a vacation. Well, Big Levi, you have to understand, the elite men, they have technology out there. They can hide themselves and go hide in bunkers. Nah, man, this dude is no more. And he was the owner of this place. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving, brethren.
WJCL 22 News uncovers new information about the pilot who died in that fiery plane crash in Bullitt County. You'll remember we brought you this story as breaking news Tuesday night.
Give me a second. Give me a second. All praises. I put the premiere for tomorrow, the 11th. That's what YouTube does. And then okay, all right, the premiere just started now. Is that what that is? It just started now. Okay, it just started now. Okay, all right, the premiere. Let's finish this and then quickly upload it. I'll put it for tomorrow. Now it's premiering. Okay, let's finish this. Let me see how long we are into this thing. 48 minutes. All right, let's see. Let's go quickly with this. Okay, let's listen to that.
WJCL 22 News uncovers new information about the pilot who died in that fiery plane crash in Bullitt County. You'll remember we brought you this story as breaking news Tuesday night.
The pilot, Kathy Kloss, spent the final hours of her life fighting the county commission for the survival of her skydiving business. Our Brooke Butler has been digging into social media and public documents.
the county commission sent this letter to Kloss back in September saying her sky...
Okay, 66. Is that Route 66? Is that what that is? Route 66 or Scott? Well, anyway, you already know what to do. That's the woman that died, okay, for her business. Let's see what's going on here.
The diving company had violated airport procedures, so they were terminating her lease.
Oh, boy.
Now, on Tuesday night, Kloss went before the county commission at around 6:30, and just 3 hours later, her plane went down with her at the controls.
So on October 6th, we were told that we could no longer skydive onto the federally funded airport.
Tuesday night, Kathy Kloss went before
the... You can hear, man, those people are pretty fast with that stuff. You can hear the sorrow in her voice, but anyway, yeah, they shot her down and she got into the airplane and then she... Au revoir.
Bullitt County Board of Commissioners pleading that they reverse their decision to terminate her lease at the Statesboro Bullitt County Airport.
Skydiving brings more people to an airfield than any other aviation activity. Certainly one like this.
The county had taken action because they claim on multiple occasions she had customers go into restricted areas of the airport and touch other planes.
Okay,
For example,
they do that. Certain people, they don't respect other people, and then you'll have those crazies, man. They will go ahead and plant something in one of those airplanes or steal one, like the Barefoot Bandit. You know?
In their letter to Claus, they said a friend of a skydiver had approached several pilots asking for a ride to Virginia. In one instance, the county says...
How stupid you... Oh, man. Do you know how stupid that is? You ask for... You know how that is? You know how that is? You go to an airport, you say, hey, man, can I get a ride to New York, man? I mean, you're going there, yeah? Can you drop me there? You know, wow. In one instance, she actually approached a running aircraft that was piloted by a member of the airport community.
They approached a running aircraft. Claus told the county she created safety briefings and videos and put up signage to address the problem.
It says, stay clear of propellers. You must have a jump-in-place escort to enter the area. Unless the owner of the aircraft...
After finishing up her presentation Tuesday, Claus stayed until the commission meeting came to an end. Just a few hours later, tragedy struck when her plane crashed in an open field just 2 miles from the airport where she had taken off.
Okay, they didn't give her anything yet, though, so she just go in an airplane, try to go for a ride or a drive. How about that is that?
The crash remains under investigation with the NTSB.
The purpose of this investigation is not only to
this guy, now they give his name, Adam, the first man. I will receive a lot of crap for this, but anyway.
Figure out what happened, but why the accident happened, so that we can issue safety recommendations to prevent future accidents.
Yeah. You may remember the jumping place Claus's company was involved in another deadly accident back in 2018, but the county commission did not use that as a reason for terminating her lease.
All praises to the Most High. They terminated her lease, and somewhere she perished.
The deadly plane crash investigation in West Houston. Thank you for joining us. I'm Keith Garvin.
And I'm Lauren Freeman. There are still a lot of unanswered questions at this point about that crash that left 2 people dead. The wreckage was discovered around 2 p.m. today inside George Bush Park near the Katy Freeway and Barker Clodine Road. But investigators say the plane actually crashed last night. Our Bill Barajas is live for us now at the scene where investigators briefed.
Bill, a.k.a. William, okay, Bill Barajas. Hey, again, well, let me see. Okay, that's the update. Let's see the update first.
He's got some severe damage to the lower legs, and all he's wearing is some underwear.
Any idea if they died on impact?
Wait, that's another one.
The significant damage to the plane.
Okay, let's see this one first.
Reporters just after 6 o'clock tonight. Bill?
Well, the investigation here has wrapped up for the night, but DPS tells us they will be back out here tomorrow with the NTSB as this investigation continues. Now, in that briefing that you mentioned, DPS tells us that small white plane carrying 2 passengers actually took off from the West Houston Airport, which is just about 2.6 miles away from the crash site. They took off and were headed to Pearland at about 7:55. 5 minutes into that flight, the airport says they lost communication with those on board. The crash site was located at George Bush Park. The plane found just 2.6 miles from the West Houston Airport. The cause of the crash is unknown, but according to DPS, the airport reported a haze on the ground Wednesday night.
A haze on the ground, okay.
DPS telling us they got news of the crash Thursday afternoon.
Nothing surprises me anymore, but I was somewhat taken away. If it crashed last night, why didn't we get a call last night?
Interesting.
But here again, the airport went up to look for them. They appeared to find what they thought was debris, and local law enforcement was brought out here.
The plane was found at about 2 p.m. DPS Sergeant Richard Standifer says they found 2 victims and a Piper PA-28 Cherokee, a small single-engine plane commonly used for personal use or flight training.
We have the loss of 2 lives. Initially, it was thought that there may be 2 males on board. When I examined the wreckage, the one was ejected. That is a male.
Damn.
One that's in the fuselage still appears to be a female.
The victims' names or ages were not yet available, and authorities are working to find out what happened, but it hasn't been easy because of where the plane was found.
It's a 45-minute walk and about a 25-minute ride via ATV. The brush is heavy back there. They had to bring in dozers and chainsaws and cut their way through it.
Yeah, it's a harsh place.
And it's unclear right now why DPS was not notified right away. DPS tells us they are usually notified and are asked to protect the crash site before the FAA or the NTSB can arrive to investigate. We called the West Houston airport, but our calls went unanswered.
Okay, yeah, that's what happened, you know, stuff. That's what happened, man. All praises. The ley line, that the thing is like, it's crazy, man. I think that's the same one. That's the same one. All praises.
Investigating a car crash in North Phoenix that they say involved a gunshot victim. Police were called to 7th Avenue just south of the 101, where a driver had crashed into a wall after being shot. That driver is in the hospital tonight in extremely critical condition. Detectives are still on the scene trying to figure out what led up to the shooting.
No, all praises to the Most High. And now, what you're seeing much more. Excuse me, much more wood bridge, much more shooting, and much more people are crashing. And we give the Most High praises and glory.
2 people are dead after a police chase that ended in a crash in northeast Minneapolis early this morning. Robbinsdale police spotted the car that was stolen a day earlier around 2 a.m. and tried to pull it over. A chase followed into Minneapolis where the car crashed. And you can see the impact split a Mercedes in half.
Look at this, man. Look at this, man. How would you... So you're going to sit there and telling me this is normal? Is that what that is? You're going to sit there and say this was a normal crash. Look at this. Look at this.
And you can see the impact split a Mercedes in half. As Caroline Cummings reports, 5 people were inside, all of them teenagers.
It was a mostly quiet morning in northeast Minneapolis, but there were signs of the deadly crash that lingered on the corner of Northeast Lowry Avenue and Hayes Street. Bent street signs, paint marking the car's path, and pieces of a mailbox torn up.
It was kind of a shock.
Floyd Panuski, who lives close by, says his wife woke up to the sound of the impact, unaware of what happened in their neighborhood.
We've lived here for like 35 years or so.
You've never seen anything like this?
No,
never.
No, this is pretty serious stuff. No.
It is.
Robbinsdale police say Minneapolis PD sent a notice to neighboring law enforcement agencies about a stolen vehicle last night. A Robbinsdale officer spotted it around 2 a.m. trying to pull it over, but police say it fled and the pursuit ended here. The SUV sliced in half, killing one person at the scene and another died at the hospital. 3 more who were inside the vehicle sustained non-life-threatening injuries, and police say they were all under the age of 18, and no law enforcement officers were hurt in the incident.
Unfortunately, this took place. This is not something that law enforcement wants to be a part of.
The deadly crash comes as carjackings in Minneapolis are on the rise, outpacing the last 2 years. Panuski says it's made him more vigilant.
I hate the high-speed chases. They're so dangerous, and especially city streets. You know, I understand the concern of the police, though, because this is an epidemic almost, the hijacking. So.
Well, they are saying that it's an epidemic, okay? The ley line, craziness. You see the car brothers, they're not making this up. Those are not paid actors. That thing split in half. All praises, man. All right, let's go to the next video, beloved.
One person was killed in a crash in Dorchester that nearly split a truck in half and is
You hear it again. Split in half. We are not making this up, brethren. Since the 2 years ago, we've been watching those cars splitting in half. That means there's a line that go through those cars and split them in half.
WBZ's Anna Myler reports police are trying to figure out what went wrong.
Boston police say one person was killed when a pickup truck slammed into this tree. You can see the tire tracks in the dirt, debris scattered on the ground, and the damage to this tree from this horrible crash. Officers responded here on Talbot Ave in Dorchester just after 11:30 last night and found the pickup truck wrapped around this tree. In this video, you can see snow falling, the first snow of the season, but right now it's unclear if the conditions played a factor in the crash. Boston Fire and EMS responded and the truck was towed away in pieces. Police say it was the only vehicle involved in this incident. The family of the man who died stopped by the scene this morning. They say he was in his 60s and lived nearby. They are in shock and heartbroken by this sudden and devastating loss.
Okay, the bed ripped off, man. One dead after violent Dorchester crash that ripped off a pickup truck. Oh, that ripped bed off.
Boston police have not yet identified the man who died. The cause of this crash is under investigation.
All praises to the Most High, man. They're gonna come up. Oh, he was drunk. Okay.
A driver in air veered off the road and into the water this morning. The fire department responded to the Carlton traffic circle and suited up to go in and pull the elderly driver out to safety. We're told she's being treated for minor injuries.
All praises. Ley line bridges. She didn't see it. Boom.
We want to bring you an update to that breaking news we brought you earlier. The weather may have led to a Morgan School District bus rolling this morning. This is the first image we're seeing from the scene right now. A picture there of that bus on its side. Nothing you want to see. Utah Highway Patrol says one student was on board at the time. I've talked to a friend of mine who said there's kids were waiting for this bus. The driver and that student suffered minor injuries. No major injuries reported from this. We'll bring you more information on this bus accident a little later today.
Now, what you're seeing, beloved, a lot of school buses are getting into accident. They are getting, it's a lot of things going on, man, with those school buses. And then you are seeing that. And we give the Most High praises and glory. All praises to the Most High. Let us keep on moving.
Town sign behind me still mentions last night's Christmas parade. It's all everyone.
Magdala Louis saying, interesting.
Talking about in this town. And though everyone is thankful no one was hurt, the police chief says there needs to be more officers at next year's parade. A scary sight. People screaming as a minivan speeds past them, heading towards parade participants.
We've never had any kind of trouble here before with anything like this.
Hayden Police Chief James Chapman was leading the parade.
There were hundreds of kids, older adults, standing right on the fog line.
Now, why is that, brothers? Now, why is this keep happening and those people are refusing of seeing this? Not a month ago, brothers. We said 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, over there in Waukesha, so to speak, and Wisconsin, Milwaukee, I'm guessing, a red truck did the same thing because of Christmas parade. And we told you to cancel all those things, but you didn't. You didn't. And now on December 8th, this one happened. That thing happened like before Thanksgiving. Is that what that is? All praises, man.
This guy was within inches and feet of where they were.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a miracle nobody got hurt.
Police say this guy, Tony Nix, was behind the wheel. First responders blocked all major roads, including both ends of Highway 160. Investigators say Nix was upset about something after he parked and wanted to leave the parade, but it had started already.
He can't say that I didn't know because the parade is facing him. My car had the lights flashing.
Yeah, you can't say anything.
They were chasing him on foot.
Court documents say Nix drove past the barricades while holding his middle finger up at officers, flipping them off.
I think
Tony don't play this issue. Tony don't play that issue.
He's going to pay the price for making a very unwise decision and then creating a dangerous risk to other people's lives.
The chief says he had fewer officers at the parade because neighboring agencies were helping patrol another parade close by.
I think better planning needs to be made in all of those events to make sure that they're not on the same night, so there's assets that can be used, better used in both places.
He credits his officers and others who responded quickly, but
it's just an eye-opening experience that shows how much more work there is to do.
That work, Chapman says, is starting right now. The conversations are underway to start planning next year's parade and talk about the safety. As for Nix, he is facing other charges on top of the reckless driving charge. We're talking failure to obey an officer and
a bunch of charge, man, you know, and we told you, man, stop doing this thing, but you people don't listen. Okay.
With a sad story of a bus accident where at least 20 people have been killed and 10 survivors rescued after a bus they were traveling in plunged into River Nziwi in Mwingi, Kitui County. The bus was ferrying choir members to a wedding ceremony in New Catholic Church when it's...
Okay, that's enough right here. Tears, shock, as 18 people die after a bus they were traveling plunged into a river in Nziwi, whatever. That happened in December 4th, 2021, 4 days ago, 6 days ago. Okay, they are a choir church. They were going to a Catholic something, marriage or wedding. This happened.
Suddenly plunged into the swollen river Nziwi at around midday. Moike William with that story.
All was set for the occasion, a happy occasion at New Catholic Church where a wedding ceremony was to take place. In a bid to get to the wedding on time, the driver of the ill-fated school bus is said to have misjudged the raging waters of River Nziwi in Mwingi Central. A heavy downpour had delayed the journey for about 3 hours.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
The bus was ferrying choir members who were full of joy as they sang and danced. Little did they know that death was beckoning.
Okay, those people were about to die, man. They dance and sing
plunged into the river at around midday. Okay. Authorities confirmed that 20 people had died while 10 had been rescued.
Okay, they said 20 people died. Okay, they died on the bus. They didn't know how to swim. They couldn't get out. They all died.
The survivors were rushed to Mwingi Level 4 Hospital for treatment. Ronald Opili, the Eastern Region Police Commander, said the driver of the bus misjudged the swollen river Nziwi following a heavy downpour. Opili says the death toll could rise as the bus had about 50 passengers.
Efforts to retrieve the bus from the submerged bus from the water.
It's all over, brothers. Okay, it's all over the world.
But as of now, 20 bodies have been confirmed dead. The bodies have been taken to Mwingi Level 4 Hospital, and we suspect that more bodies might be trapped in the bus.
All praises to the Most High, man. They're all gone. 18 people. I believe you already did what was supposed to be done. All praises.
A driver crashed a car into the front of the Weight of Glory Family Worship Center last Friday on Brooks Road, leaving behind a lot of damage. But tonight, the church pastor tells me, even though they're now without a permanent home, the ministry must continue. At the Weight of Glory Family Worship Center, this damage is what greeted Pastor Stanley Granville and his wife and co-pastor Wanda Granville when they returned from vacation last Friday and got a call to come to the church.
It was just devastating. I mean, everything,
those are the people that look like us. Those are our fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, wife, husbands, cousins, siblings and offsprings, children. Those are the people that are in our family, and we told them, listen, the car that crashed into your stuff, into your business, into your church, you need to stop doing this. And what do they say? The ministry, is that what that is? The ministry has to go on. They double down. Okay,
wires, everything, the building. It was just a sight to see.
Parts of the church are boarded up after a car crashed into the building.
I was actually in shock receiving that phone call and then pulling up to see the whole side of the church exposed.
Memphis police said a woman was driving westbound on Brooks Road when she lost control of the car. They say she left the scene but turned herself in days later. The Granvilles prayed for the driver.
No matter what the reason was for the accident, somebody still needs to love on her because she's in a situation just like any of us. That could have been my daughter.
This church.
Okay, so again, 2226, we know who's in the midst, and okay, so this is what those people are doing. Okay, this is what the 2/3 are doing. But anyway, man, this is a very clear message unto you. The Most High switched the ley line, and we told you those churches are sitting right on top of ley line. It doesn't have to be a major church. The moment ley line can be assimilate where you constantly have a bunch of people coming over there, they will draw their energy. It's a ley line place.
The church has been here for about 6 years and had a big impact in the Walker Homes community.
Where would the people go? It was more of a concern for those that come there because a lot of people come there as a safe haven. They see it as a place of refuge.
But their prayers were answered by finding a temporary place to worship.
The Lord has blessed us, thank God, with a temporary place to begin worship beginning this Sunday. Our Bishop, Linwood Dillard, he has graciously offered us his annex for the building, Citadel of Deliverance.
They call it a blessing as they search for a permanent new church to continue God's work.
We're going forward. We're going on to see what God has for us, and we're in search of a building. We're in search for a permanent building, somewhere where we can call home, the Weight of Glory home.
Now, this past Sunday, the Granvilles invited members to have church service with them in their home. They say if anyone knows of a vacant building that they can rent, lease, or purchase, to please contact them.
They are not backing down, brothers. You see how they are mocking the Heavenly Father? Okay. And those are the people that you see, their children are splitting in half in accident, and all sort of things are happening to them.
Live to breaking news in Van Nuys. Police are investigating a deadly crash. This is near the intersection of Saticoy and Louise Avenue. They say a Toyota Camry crashed into a Prius and then slammed into a utility pole around 2:30 this morning. You just saw the van block the car that crashed, but we're looking at the rest of the scene here. Our Dave Gonzalez showing you all the pictures. There's the Prius. You can see the driver's doors smashed.
And then the
a female passenger was killed in this crash. It may have been the other vehicle. And a man and a woman were taken to the hospital. There is no word yet on the conditions of the other drivers or just what caused the crash. So this could be the coroner's van.
All praises to the Most High. No condition. We keep telling you it's the ley line. All praises.
A stalled car in the middle of Central Expressway near Fitzhugh Avenue started a deadly chain of events.
There was a car just sitting there in the middle of the freeway with their lights off, like no hazard lights or no brake lights.
Police say Grayson Chong was driving that car and was drunk. Carissa Velasco and her 10-year-old son were driving home from a friend's house. They were trying to get around the stalled car when police say Jose Salazar slammed into them. Police say he too was drunk. Carissa called 911, and while talking to the operator, police say Marcellus Brown, speeding in his Audi, slammed into all of them and hitting a fourth car that was trying to avoid the crashes.
Oh boy.
People in that car were killed.
When the car flew over us, I thought it was going to land on us, and I just see smoke.
Carissa says she couldn't see her son.
I was screaming.
He ended up being okay. Carissa says when she got out of the car, Salazar, the first suspected drunk driver who hit her, was on the phone.
And I wanted to run up and hit him for not paying attention.
Police arrested Salazar and Chong for DWI and arrested Marcellus Brown for 2 counts of intoxication manslaughter. According to the arrest affidavit, police say Brown told them, "I lost control," and when asked if he'd been drinking, he said yes. Dallas police say they did have their 8-member DWI squad out Sunday morning, but acknowledge they need more officers, especially during the holiday season, looking for drunk drivers.
So the goal is to not only deter through arrest, but also for people to know that we're out there.
Dallas police are also trying to get a grant that would allow them to put more than half a dozen unmarked cars on highways to spot for aggressive and drunk drivers.
It ain't gonna work. All praises to the Most High. Brothers and sisters, Jews and Gentiles alike, you just witnessed the ley line going crazy. Thank you so much for watching the videos. It was too much, brothers. We had to do 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. If you haven't watched part 1, go watch it after this. Beloved, fast, pray, repent, repeat. May the King reign forever. Shalom. Be at peace.